I knocked on the door and it was opened up by a woman who was a little overweight, but had the most beautiful face I have ever seen on a woman. Dark green eyes and dimples when she smiled. Brunette hair down to her shoulders and big curls. My sister, Sherry, fixed me up with a blind date. This was one of her best friends at work. The only thing my sister mentioned is that she was pretty and somewhat overweight. Julie, this woman I had the blind date with, was a natural beauty. Yes, she was overweight, but she was gorgeous. I know throughout my life, I have always spotted heavier women who were always pretty. Julie was beyond pretty. I think I got my point across here. When she opened the door, I saw this big smile and the dimples. Jerry? You are Jerry, aren't you? Sherry's brother, she asked. Yes, and I hope you're Julie. I replied. Come on in for a second. I have to tell the babysitter a few things. Babysitter? You have kids? I asked. Just my little girl, Tina, my pride and joy. Didn't Sherry tell you I had a daughter? No, but that's all right. I have 2 kids of my own. I replied. Yes, I know, Mike and Carla. Let's see, they are ages 8 and 10. My sister, Sherry, talks a lot, doesn't she? Well, anyway, I'm very glad to meet you, Julie. Right then a little girl walked into the room. She couldn't have been more than 3 years old. She looked so much like her mother. I bent down and said, Hi there, beautiful little girl. She replied, I'm not beautiful, Tina. It was cute just listening to her speak. I smiled at her and said, Oh, but you are beautiful, Tina, and I'm so very glad to meet you. You can call me Uncle Jerry. Tina just smiled at me and ran to her mother. Julie gave instructions to the sitter, and we headed out the door. I was married at 19 to Lisa. We had our 2 kids rather quickly. Life was pretty good considering we got married so young. I guess we really didn't give ourselves a chance to know each other. We argued over just about everything. I don't think it was so much being opposites as wanting to be right. We loved each other, but it wasn't a built-up love. It didn't get stronger as time went on. Love is so hard to explain. My best way would be to say our love was very fragile. To this day, I still have love for Lisa, but it wouldn't be considered a husband-wife love. More of a friendship love for all the pain I caused. As I mentioned, we argued regularly. I would usually leave for a while and get a few drinks and then come back home. We might not talk to each other for a few hours or even a few days. If it was a really stupid argument, we might make up right away. The disagreement that ended our marriage was my going out with the guys. Now, you have to know we just did sport things. Watching the games, or maybe taking in a few local high school games. We watched mostly football and basketball of local college teams. Lisa was right. I should have spent more time at home with her and the kids, or at least I should have taken them out more often. I'm now paying the price for my selfishness. I've been divorced for 5 years, and I do regret it. We had our fight about me going to the local high school football game on a Friday night. I went anyway, but since we argued about it, I went over to the pub after the game. I drank and stayed out later than I should have. I was pretty plastered and some gal came up to me and I bought her a drink. To cut a long story short, I went to the girl's van and had sex with her. It cost me $50, which I really couldn't afford. We were lucky to make ends meet and I paid for sex. I can't believe I did that. We had sex and soon as it was over, I got back in my car. I had never cheated on Lisa before. I felt a little sad about it, but figured no one would ever find out. I would never do it again. The dumb things we do. It's unbelievable. When I got home, Lisa was crying. She told me she shouldn't have said anything about going to the local sporting event, and she apologized. Now I felt bad, really bad. I took her in my arms and hugged her. I told her I would cut back on the sports and spend more time with her and the kids. The funny thing is I meant it. She hugged and kissed me back and we made love. Not to stick it in and pull it out like I did with the hooker, but real love making. Please make love to me, Jerry. I need you. Jerry, I love you, she smiled. I love you too, Lisa. We have to stop these stupid arguments and make love more often. We both cuddled and went asleep. The next morning, I got up and took a shower and headed for work. I worked as a warehouse man in one of the local factories. The pay was good even though there was a lot of lifting. I usually worked on Saturday for the extra money. I didn't wake up Lisa that morning. It was Saturday and I thought she could use the extra sleep since the kids didn't need to get up. When I came home from work, all was well. We went in the yard and played with the kids. We grilled some hot dogs and had our own little picnic. Sunday was rather normal except Lisa wasn't feeling too good. She said she felt itchy in her female region. I told her that her feeling itchy made me itch. She just laughed and said, maybe we both have a yeast infection. On Monday, she went to the gynecologist. When I got home, she was pissed. I came in the house smiling and she just looked at me. You a-hole. You gave me a venereal disease. I have syphilis, and you probably do too. My doctor said you better go to a clinic as soon as possible before it gets worse. It's treatable and I'm already on treatments. I'm so sorry, Lisa. It was a big mistake. It will never happen again. I promise. Promise? What happened to our wedding day promise? To trust and honor, for better for worse. Did you forget those promises? I'll tell you one thing. It won't happen again. I want a divorce. I'm pretty sure I have good grounds here. Giving your wife VD should hold up in most any court. I'm taking you for everything I can get. You can sleep on the couch till you find a place to stay. Lisa, I'm truly sorry. It only happened the one time. Can't we work it out? I've worked it out. I want you out of my bed, out of my life. I feel so sorry for the kids. Now I'll have to try and explain to a 5 and a 3-year-old why their father is leaving. I want to be in my kid's life. I'm no deadbeat dad. Do what you want, but I'm going to see my kids regularly. That all happened 5 years ago. We did both take shots for the VD and are cured. I have seen my kids regularly since the divorce. I stop by and pick them up about once a week and usually take them to my sister's and spend time with them. Every other weekend I have them and we try and do different things. I stay in my kids' lives. Any school events I try to attend. I pay child support and alimony until last year. Lisa got remarried to a nice guy named Robert. He seems quite the opposite of me. White-collar job, non-drinker, one son from a previous marriage. He got custody because his wife cheated. He was about 10 years older than either Lisa or me. At least he presented a stable household for my family. My kids called him Bob or Mr. Bob. They couldn't bring themselves to call him Dad. I still pay my child support, but the alimony payments stopped when Lisa got remarried. Lisa and I talk civilly to each other. The first year after the divorce was a rocky one. She told everyone about the VD episode. It made any dating for me about non-existent. I deserved it. I was the one who ruined our marriage. After Lisa's remarriage, Sherry, my sister was really worried about me. She constantly tried to fix me up. I went on a few dates, but nothing really clicked. I spent a lot of time at Sherry's and her husband Bill's house. Bill didn't mind. He was a nice guy and treated my sister great. That's where I got my good meals at. I wasn't the best cook, so I ate out a lot. I worked a lot of extra hours at work for the money. I did get promoted to warehouse manager, which was nice with the pay increase and all. I was waiting for Lisa to ask for an increase in child support, but she never did. She told me it was because I was such a good dad, just a lousy husband. Julie and I got into the car. She looked at me and said, "Jerry, just so you know, I'm a nervous wreck. I don't date very often, but your sister was really persistent and finally won out. I've never been on a blind date before. I always thought it was for young people, and I'm 25, said Julie. I've never been on one either. I haven't been on that many dates since the divorce, even though it's been 5 years. I'm glad I've let my sister fix me up this time. We went out and had dinner. We talked about our jobs, but didn't talk about our past marriages. Julie was so nice, so easy to talk to. I took an immediate liking to her. I wanted it to go further, so I didn't push it. After all, we just met, and I didn't want to lose her already. We went and saw a movie. It was a horror flick, so she grabbed and held my hand through most of it. I played the perfect gentleman. No touching, no nasty or sexy talk. I wanted this relationship to last. After the movie, I took her back to her mobile home. She had a newly remodeled trailer. The mobile home park was almost all senior citizens, so the park was well kept up. I walked her to the door, and she looked nervous. She asked, "Do you want to come in?" I didn't want to push my luck. I did everything right so far, and was afraid I would make a pass at her if I was in her home. I didn't want this night to end. She was turning into someone special to me, and I sure didn't want to blow it. "No, I better get home. I would like to see you again," I replied. We were holding hands as she leaned forward and gave me a gentle kiss. I didn't push it, even though I would have loved to make love to her right on the spot. She had a tear in her eye when she said, "Okay, that would be nice. Good night, Jerry. It was really nice meeting you." She then walked into the house. I felt empty driving back to my apartment. God, I hope she liked me. I would have to wait and see what my sister, Sherry, would have to say. On Monday, I got a call at work from Sherry. "What the hell did you do to Julie, Jerry?" Sherry asked. "Nothing, Sherry. I was the perfect gentleman. I didn't even try to kiss her." "Why? What's wrong?" She came to work crying today. I asked her what the problem was, and she said, "You didn't like her, and she really cared for you." Don't like her? Where did she get that from? Damn, Sherry, I'm crazy about her. That's why I acted like a gentleman. I didn't want her to feel that I just wanted to have sex with her. I told her I wanted to see her again. Jerry, she told me she had to hold your hand. She had to kiss you at the end of the night, and worst of all, she invited you in and you turned her down. I was afraid I might try something if I went in. I respected her too much to take that chance. You idiot. That's why she invited you in. Now she thinks that you were just being nice because I set it up and that you thought she was too fat. Damn, I was trying to do the right thing. She isn't fat, and I never said anything like that. In fact, she is the prettiest girl I've ever met. You women, no matter what a guy does, it's always wrong. Hell, Sherry, maybe I'll call her and apologize, but what am I apologizing for? Not screwing her? Not having sex with her? For acting like a gentleman? I don't get it. Jerry, I'm going to tell you what she told me, but you can't let her know I told you, okay? Of course, I want to see her again, but I'm not sure what the hell a guy's supposed to do. She's crazy about you. She hasn't been with a man since she and her husband divorced almost 2 years ago. She's very vulnerable right now. She thought that you didn't want to date a woman with a kid. I'm sorry for not telling you. That was my mistake, but Tina is a great kid, and I wanted you to meet her before you made an opinion about dating a woman with a child. I figured you'd fall in love with Tina when you met her. So, I should call Julie and act like I don't know anything? Yes, but don't just go grabbing her, little brother. Take your time. You two are made for each other. Trust me, I'm your big sister after all. Is she at her desk right now? Is it all right to call her? Sure, but don't let her know you talk to me, okay? Okay, sis, and for the record, I really do like Julie. Thank you for the blind date, and yes, I love little Tina. She looks just like her mother. I called Julie's number and the phone rang. Julie Moore, how may I help you? By going out with me again, I replied. Jerry, you actually called me again. I thought. I interrupted her. Julie, I have to tell you something and please tell me if I am out of line. I thought about you all weekend. When you went into the house, I saw you had a tear in your eye. I don't know why, but I have to tell you that I wanted to come in. If I would have made a pass at you and was afraid of being rejected and I wanted to see you again. I didn't want to push my luck. Are you saying you like me, Jerry, even though I'm overweight and have a child? Overweight? Get off thinking like that. You are the most beautiful girl I have ever met and I want to see you again, and as far as Tina is concerned, she's as pretty and nice as her mother. So, are we going to see each other again? I'm free Saturday. In fact, I'm free every Saturday, laughed Julie. I have my kids this weekend and was going to take them to the zoo. Would you and Tina like to go with us? Are you serious? We would love it. Tina loves animals. Would it be all right with your kids though? No problem. I'm the dad. Besides, the kids would love watching Tina. They get a kick out of watching kids that are younger than them. We all went to the zoo, and it was like one big happy family. My kids loved pushing Tina around and playing with her as much as they enjoyed the zoo. As for me, I enjoyed being around happy kids and a beautiful woman. I know I've only known her for a couple of weeks, but I was falling for her. I started putting my arm around her waist and holding her hand. I wanted her to know that it was me making the forward moves. We were in the aquarium room where it was pretty dark. The kids were all staring at the sharks, and I backed Julie into a dark doorway where no one could really see us, and I kissed her. I just leaned forward and kissed her, and she kissed me back. I then pulled away and said, Julie, I'm not sorry for that. I thought that you ought to know. There's some things I can't help, and wanting to kiss you is one of those things. She just smiled at me but didn't reply. I took her by the hand, and we continued following the kids. It might seem silly, but this was probably one of the best days of my life, at least in the recent years. The zoo was closing, and no one was ready to leave. I was so happy for the kids. We went to a park and let the kids play on the swings, while Julie and I just watched them. Mike and Carla treated Tina like a little sister. My kids kept saying, Dad, this and Dad, that, so little Tina started calling me Dad since she heard it over and over from my kids. Julie corrected her twice, but finally gave up and apologized to me. It's fine, Julie. I don't mind. In fact, I kind of like it. She is one sweet little girl. I dropped my kids off at their house and then drove Julie home. She looked at me and invited me in. This time I went in. She offered me something to drink and I took a soda. She said she was going to put Tina to bed early since she missed her nap. Say goodnight to Uncle Jerry. It's time for night-night. Little Tina came up to me and gave me a kiss on the cheek. Good night, Daddy. I have to go to bed. Good night, beautiful little girl. Sweet dreams. Julie came out and sat next to me on the couch. Things are going kind of fast, aren't they? She said. Yeah, we need to talk. There are things you need to know about me before things go too far. What kind of things, Jerry? About my marriage and why it ended. You need to know. You might not want to have anything to do with me. I need to put all my cards on the table. Jerry, I know all about your divorce. About you getting drunk and having sex with a hooker, then bringing it home and giving it to your wife. Sherry told me all about it. You're clean now, right? My God, what didn't my sister tell you? Did she tell you that I'm falling in love with you even though we just met? No, she didn't. Are you, Jerry? Or was that just an off-the-wall statement? Oh yes, I think I am. I have this feeling of wanting to be with you and thinking about you. To be honest, I don't know if it's love or lust, but I want in your pants. I don't want to just screw you. I want to make sexual love to you if I still remember how. Jerry, I haven't been with any man since my divorce 2 years ago. I don't know whether I'm good in bed or not. Would you give me your opinion? She smiled. Julie, why are you divorced? You are so nice, so beautiful. My God, you're the total package. Why would any guy let you go? Geez, Jerry, I'm not all that much, but thank you. Bullshit, you are that much. I'll telling you that, and I haven't even got in your pants yet. Okay, Jerry, I need to get serious to tell you about myself. I was young and Ray was my boyfriend. We dated for a couple of years and he was the wild rustic kind of guy. You know, the kind that's supposed to be dangerous. Well, he was. I got pregnant and so we got married. Instead of being happy, he blamed everything on me. When Tina arrived, he wasn't even there. He was out with his friends. We fought every time we were together. He still went out and picked up women and had sex with them. He told me I got fat after having the baby and didn't want anything to do with me. She had tears in her eyes, so I held her and kissed her on the forehead. I didn't even know this guy, and I already wanted to do him in. Julie continued. He came home one night saying for me to get in the bedroom. He wanted sex and to get me in the bedroom now. I was holding Tina at the time. I told him to drop dead. I was going to get a divorce. He reached up and backhanded me. I fell to the floor and he kicked me at least 3 times. I felt the pain but was busy trying to protect Tina. If he would have hit her, it would have killed her. Finally, I heard the police coming in the door. The neighbors overheard the commotion and called them. He was arrested and served 3 months. It's okay. You don't have to say any more, I said. No, I have to finish. I was pretty bruised and banged up. The paramedics told me I should go to the hospital, but I had to take care of my baby. I healed pretty quickly except for my ribs. He cracked one of them. I applied for a divorce and of course got it. After he got out of jail, the police brought him by to get his things. He's not allowed around me and can only see Tina with someone else being there. He has never come to see her. He is supposed to pay $100 a week child support. Whenever he has a job, they garnish his paycheck. He's about $2,000 in arrears. I don't care. I just don't want him in Tina's life. Well, now you know my story. Do you still want to have sex with me? No. A look of horror came across her face. I want to make sensuous love to you, I said. She smiled and kissed me very sensuously. Damn, what a kisser. I honestly believe I could come just kissing her. I know that it was my feelings for her that helped make me feel this way. I wasn't going to tell you about the love-making we had afterwards, but it's so embedded in my mind, I have to tell you some of it. She checked to make sure that Tina was asleep. She put on an old CD with romantic songs playing. I was listening to I Can't Help Falling in Love with You. As she was slowly taking off her clothes, she dimmed the lights and came to me. We made love. When I woke up, it was dark. The CDs were still playing. Baby, baby, don't get hooked on me. Baby, baby, don't get hooked on me. 'Cause I'll just use you, then I'll set you free. Baby, baby, don't get hooked on me. It was never going to happen. I would never let her go. I was already hooked on her. As I sat up to go to the bathroom, Julie rolled over on her back. She was awake. Jerry, I know I've only known you for a couple of weeks and we don't know everything about each other. But in the throes of passion when I said, I love you, I meant it. I know it might sound stupid and I don't know why I know except I feel it in my heart. I know this relationship is going way too fast, but I needed to tell you. I don't want a reply from you. I just wanted you to know. When you get done in the bathroom, I'm going to ride you so you will never forget me. Julie, I have never been made love to the way you did with me. I will never forget you. You can take that to the bank. I got up and went to the bathroom. When I returned, she was on her knees and said, lay down, cowboy. I'm going to ride your Bronco. I couldn't believe how hard I was. She jacked me up and down a few times and began her ride. Damn, she was the best. We started dating regularly after that night. I would see her once or twice during the week and most every weekend. My sister said that we both really seemed happy and was wondering what was next. I told her we just decided to play it by ear. Our relationship was going along good until one day I got a call at work. Jerry Brown here. Hey, a hole. You stay the hell away from my wife and kid or they'll be hell to pay. Oh, it's beat up women and children, Ray. I'll meet you anytime, any place and kick your butt back into the gutter where you belong, I replied. Ray replied, listen, you stupid. You go near my wife and kid and it's not you I'm coming after. It will be them. I'll beat the hell out of Julie and I'll really do a number on the kid. Hell, in the long run, it will save me money. What the hell is the matter with you? Why don't you leave the damn country? Julie isn't going to follow you. She owes me. She's my wife, or at least was. If it wasn't for that damn kid, we would still be enjoying sex. She's pretty good at it. At least till she got so fat. Then she had me locked up and I had to do hard time. If you ever touch a hair on either of their heads, I promise to hunt you down and kill you like a rabid animal. Look, a-hole, you hold the cards. Just stay away from them and everything will be cool. I have people watching them. If I find out you've been there, then I'll show up unannounced and do my thing. I will guarantee you will never recognize either of them. He hung up. What the hell was I supposed to do? I didn't even know what he looked like, or where he worked or stayed. Damn it, damn it, damn it. What could I do? I couldn't see Julie or Tina till I could find this maggot. I called Sherry at work. Sherry, can you see Julie from your desk? Yes, she's working and smiling. I think she's in love. Okay, I have to tell you something, but Julie is not to know. What's is it, Jerry? You're sounding kind of weird. I just got a call from Ray, Julie's ex-husband. What the hell did he want? He's no good, Jerry. He's bad news. He warned me to stay away from Julie and Tina. What? Stay away from Julie and Tina? Surely, you're not going to let that a-hole get away with this. Damn, Jerry. I never saw you back down from a fight and never saw you lose one. This is a little different, Sherry. He's not coming after me. I already told him I would meet him. He laughed it off and said if I see Julie or Tina, he pretty much said he would beat them up or even kill them. I can't take the chance of seeing them till I find this a-hole. What can I do, Jerry? I don't want Julie to know. It would just scare her to death. I'm going to talk with her and maybe even break up with her till I get this maggot. I need information. Anything you can find out about him. Where he works, lives, hangs out. Pump Julie's head for anything that might help. Only tell her if she won't tell you anything. I need you to do this for me. Call me with anything helpful. Okay, Jerry, get the maggot for me too. Will you? Yes, big sister. I'll get him for all of us. After hanging up from talking to Sherry, I called Julie. Julie speaking. How may I help you? Hi, honey. It's me. You won't like what I'm about to tell you, but I need you to trust me. What is it, Jerry? What's the matter? I can't tell you right now. I won't be seeing you for a week or two. I need you to know that I love you, and I'm doing this for us. Jerry, please tell me. Is there someone else? Did I do something wrong? No, nothing like that. I do need a favor from you. Sherry needs to know a few things about Ray. Would you tell her all you can, please? Ray? I don't love Ray. You know that. Why are you doing this, Jerry? Please, just trust me, at least for a few days. Can you do that for me? Okay, Jerry. I'll talk to Sherry and answer her questions. One more thing, Julie. Don't pump Sherry for information. She doesn't know anything. She is asking you for me. I can't be seen with you right now, and that is why Sherry is helping me. Jerry, this is crazy. I don't understand. I'm sorry, Julie. I really can't tell you anymore right now. I promise I will explain it all to you when it's over. Over? When what's over? Jerry, you're scaring me. Just do what I ask and everything will be fine. Just know I love you, but don't try and come to see me or talk to me. It's very important that you trust me. Okay, Jerry, but I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I love you, Julie. I love you too, Jerry. I hung up the phone and there stood two of my best workers. They were staring at me. What is it, boss? Need some help? Cal and Jim were two rough and ready guys. They both did a little time for assault when they were younger and gang members. It's okay, guys. Just some personal issues. Nothing to do with work. Bullshit, Jai. Look, we've been here through all these conversations you just had. I don't mean to butt in, but as you have always told us, if it affects your personal life, then it affects your work. We're here for you, Ja. That's what friends are for. So what gives? Asked Cal. I remember when these two came in together for a job interview. The human resource department was a little nervous when they walked it. The manager called me in the office. I just stared at the two guys. They weren't necessarily big as they were strong and mean-looking. Are you two here for an interview for the warehouse workers position? I asked. Yeah, man, we could use the work. We just got out of jail and no one wants to hire us. Our parole officer said we better find some work. We are always getting the runaround but not the job. We can do the work. We just need the chance to prove it. No one wants to give us that chance, said Jim. Let me see your resumes. We don't have one, man. I'm a good worker but not much of a book learner. I just need a chance to prove I can do it, replied Cal. Bill, give them both an application and let them fill it out and I'll take a look at it. Bill was the manager, but I was in charge of who was hired to work for me. Guys, don't lie on those applications. If you did time, put it down. I don't want liars working for me. I came back a few minutes later and they had their papers filled out. According to their paperwork, they were best friends, like two peas in a pod. Their work experience sucked, but they looked strong. I took them back in the warehouse and told them to move some furniture. Put those sofas and chairs on the truck and be very careful you don't scratch or tear anything. Do we get the job or are we just doing the work? Asked Cal. It all depends on how well you load that truck. You have half an hour to get it done. I went back inside and told Bill to put them on the payroll. He was a bit worried but went along. I went back into the warehouse about 20 minutes later and they were done loading the truck. Well, Cal, Jim, you got the job. I'll tell you up front that I expect you be honest with me, and I'll be honest with you. I give the work schedule out and I expect you to do the job. My door is always open. You have a problem, bring it to me. Remember, your personal life affects your work. So, if there's a problem, we will deal with it. You men wanted a chance to prove yourself, and I'm giving it to you. Go out front and fill out your papers. Tell Bill I said to give each of you a free lunch voucher for loading that truck. I don't expect you to work for nothing. I had their respect and friendship. Now I could use their help. Okay, Cal, my girlfriend was married to a true idiot. He beat her and now he's back. He told me to stay away from her. Geez, boss, excuse my language, but just go beat his butt. I'd love to, Cal, but I don't know the maggot or where he hangs out or works. He's not after me. He's after his ex-wife and daughter. If I see them, he is going to hurt them. I can't protect them 24 hours a day. Who is he, boss? Asked Jim. Raymore is his name, but I don't have any other information on him. He did time for assaulting his wife, my girlfriend. We know the man, Jerry. We were in lockup at the same time. He's kind of a know-it-all. You could whip his butt into next week. The problem is he has hangins. What's a hangin, Jim? Stupid maggot that are yes men for him. We call them toadies. They do his dirty work. It wouldn't be a fair fight, Ja. These scum suckers play dirty. I can get down and dirty too, Jim. This maggot is going to pay dearly for his actions. I don't care if I have to take on all of them. You only have to take on the one, boss. We have your back. Thanks, guys. See if you can find out where they hang out or something. I don't want to go to jail for this. I have to mark my time. Thanks again, guys. You are truly friends. It was 2 days later when Sherry called me. She said Julie didn't know anything about Ray. Her checks were forwarded from Children's Services. Sherry, I need to find out who's watching her. I do believe someone is spying on her. I need to know who. Jerry, you need to tell her. She's worried sick she did something. She will be in danger whether if you talk to her or not. Please call her. She's been crying half the time at work here. I think keeping her in the dark isn't the best idea. You're probably right, Sherry. I call her right now. Thanks, Jerry, and good luck. She just returned to her desk. Julie Moore, may I help you? Hi, sweetheart. It's me. Jerry, it's so good to hear your voice. God, I've been worried sick. What's going on? Well, I'm going to tell you everything I know. It's not good, but I can't keep it from you. Ray called me the other day and told me you belong to him. That's not true, Jerry. I belong to you. Only you. I know, sweetheart, but you have to listen to me. This is very important. He told me if I come near you or Tina, he will do you harm. Oh God, no. It can't be happening. Honey, it's okay. Me and a couple of friends are working on it. I just can't take that chance of being with you and having Ray following up on his treat. Jerry, he's a psycho. He would follow up. What can I do to help? Ray told me he is having you watched. Have you seen anyone following you or staring at you? Anything at all? I get stared at a lot, Jerry, big boobs and all, but no one in particular. Why did you hesitate just now, Julie? This might not mean anything, but a grandson of one of the old people a couple of trailers down has been staying over their house a lot more. I turned him down for dates time and time again. He gives me the creeps. What's his name? Don't laugh, but it's George Hamilton. Jerry, the last time I turned him down he was really pissed. I tried to be nice, but I finally told him to go screw himself. I don't usually talk like that, but I don't like him, and he wouldn't stop bothering me. Okay, honey, just so you know, I do love you and we'll get past this together. Kiss Tina for me, will you? I sure will. She asked me where Dada was last night. Okay, honey, take care. Bye. It was a couple of more days when Cal and Jim approached me and said they found out some information. Ray and his toadies are working for a roofing company. It was hard to pin them down since they are never at the same place more than a few days. Good job, guys. I knew I could count on you. More news, boss. Ray and his toadies hang out at Joe's bar over on 5th Street. It's a pretty nasty place. We know because we used to hang out there ourselves. They hang out there most every evening. Do either of you guys know George Hamilton? They laughed at the same time. You don't mean the old actor, do you, Ja? No, guys. I think our spy is a George Hamilton. Cal spoke. I know a Georgie Porgy, who was a rat in jail. Don't know his last name. Could be your guy. I'd know him if I saw him. Why don't you two go to Joe's bar tonight and see what the latest is? Don't tell anyone where you work. We don't want to give anything away here. By the way, the drinks are on me, but you two better be sober when you show up for work tomorrow. How about a little dinner too, boss? We hate drinking on an empty stomach. Okay, guys, try and keep the night under 100. They both laughed. $100 buys a lot of booze in a dive like Joe's. Cal and Jim came in the next day. Found out a lot of crap, Ja. This hole was laughing at you pretty good. Tell me everything. Start from the beginning. Cal and I went in and ordered dinner. By the way, boss, thanks. That was a pretty good steak. Anyway, while we were eating, Ray and 2 of his toadies came in and sat at the bar. We went up and acted like we were all old friends. He asked us what we'd been up to, and we told him we just got out a couple of weeks ago and was looking for work. He told us he could get us jobs, but we would have to give him a percentage. We told him we'd see about that later. We really didn't want to work all that bad. Jim continued. We asked him what he was up to and he told us about the roofing jobs. Cal asked him if he was still married and he started laughing. He said he divorced the fat 304 and told her boyfriend he was going to beat her to death if he ever saw her again. Then he told us he had Georgie Porgy watching her place. He did tell us he was going to go after her anyway, probably tomorrow. He told us we could come along and help gangbang her if we wanted. The a-hole is dead in my book. I need to do something quick here. Jerry, we can't stand the a-hole either. We're ready whenever you are. Okay, guys, here's the plan. After we made our plans, Cal handed me back $40. He said they decided not to buy the prick a drink. They did, however, have a few beers on me. I told them, anytime, guys, anytime. They did tell me that the only one that knows my face was George. It was better for us if Ray didn't know me until the time was right. I called my sister Sherry and asked to talk to her husband Bill. Bill was an ex-military man and knew how to handle himself. I told him what I needed and why. He agreed with no hesitation. I then called Julie. Honey, is everything all right? I asked. Jerry, I'm nervous. Every time I leave the house, I know that George is following me. When is this going to be over, Jerry? I thought about calling the police, but I don't have proof of anything. I guess I have to get beat up or dead before they will investigate. Honey, don't take it out on the police. They're just doing their job. I need to tell you that when you get home from work tomorrow that Bill, Sherry's husband, will be there to protect you. Have Tina go with Sherry for her own protection. We don't want her to see anything. What's going to happen, Jerry? If Ray has his way, you will get gangbanged and left for dead. If I have mine, it will be Ray getting gangbanged. Oh my God, Jerry. I don't quite understand, but I'm glad you're on my side. Jerry, I love you. Please be careful. I love you too, honey. Don't worry. This will be all over soon. And for what it's worth, I love you too. I had one more thing to do. I had to contact the lawyer and get some parental guardianship papers. Ray would be signing his rights away for Tina. I didn't want him near her, ever. The next day, we got all our work done early and headed to Joe's bar. I ordered a round of beers, and while we were drinking them, Ray and two of his toadies came in. He was a cocky sort, but by looking at him, I knew I could take him. Cal and Jim got up and told Ray they were ready to have some sex. Ray said, I gave that some thought, and it's some fine piece of meat. I'll let you guys in for $50 apiece. You can do her as many times as you like. Cal looked at Ray and said, I thought we were friends. You're going to charge us for screwing your ex? What about these two losers with you? Did they pay? One of the toadies spoke. Cal, he charged us $100 to be part of it. He says she's real pretty. I could tell the toadies were afraid of Cal and Jim. Cal looked at the guy. Listen, you little toad. If I want to hear you speak, I'll let you know. No one was asking you anything. Sorry, Cal. I didn't mean to interfere, spoke the toadie. Take it easy there, Cal. These are my friends too. It's just business. I set things up like jobs and these gangbangs, and I get paid for my work. That's all. Now, Georgie is going to be at the Broad's house in a few minutes. He's supposed to call us. Jim looked at me and then Ray. Hey, Ray, we came with a friend. Can he get in on the action for $50? Ray looked over at me drinking my beer. Sure, as long as he buys a round of beers while we're waiting for Georgie to call. I circled my finger in the air for the bartender to serve a round. One of the toadies came up to me and told me that Ray wanted his money up front for the gangbang. You go tell your buddy that I'm not giving him anything till I see the stuff up close and personal. He quickly ran back to Ray, who looked at me and just held up his beer and grinned. Cal and Jim came back and sat with me. We heard Ray's cell phone ring. Yeah, you got her. You have a knife at her throat. She's in handcuffs? You don't go doing her till we get there. It will be about 10 minutes. Is the kid there? She is? Okay, see you in a few minutes. Okay, guys, follow me. The lady is waiting. We're even going to steal a kid when we get through doing in the mom, laughed Ray. I didn't know how I could hold my temper like this. I wanted to just jump up and beat the living hell out of this a-hole. Cal, Jim, and I followed Ray and his toadies in Ray's van to Julie's house. As soon as we pulled up, Bill stepped out on the porch with a knife at George's throat. Bill had George handcuffed. What the hell is going on? Yelled Ray. I thought you said you had her by the throat and in cuffs. This guy jumped me and said he'd kill me if I didn't do what he says. That's why I told you what I did on the phone. He can kill you if he wants to. You little puss. You're nothing but a maggot. There are 6 of us here to do the job. He can't take us all on. Cal, Jim, and I got out of the car and headed toward the porch. Ray, screamed Georgie. There's Jerry. Ray turned around and looked at me. Get back, Jerry. There is still 5 of us. 2 guys with you. You worthless piece of human waste, said Cal. We're with Jerry. Hey, you 2 toads. I suggest you stay out of it, called Jim. Ray's toads backed away. They didn't want to mess with Cal and Jim. Okay, you scum suckers, you're all mine. As I hit Ray with a right fist across his left cheek. He went down with me, jumping on top of him. Right fist again to the left side of his face. Another fist to his face. He was one bloody mess. Cal, bring me that paper for him to sign before he loses his vision, I asked. Okay, Ray, you have one chance and one chance only. You sign this paper that says you give up all rights to Tina, and I might let you live. I handed him the paper, and he signed the paper through squinting eyes. They were swelling quickly. Now for your apology. I'm sorry, I'm so? Not to me, you dumb idiot. To Julie, for making her life a living hell. Julie came out the front door and ran to me and hugged me. Are you all right, Jerry? I was so worried for you. I'm fine, honey. I think Ray has something to say to you. Ray spoke. I'm sorry for all the trouble I caused you. I promise it will never happen again. Please let me go. He was still on the ground as Julie kicked him twice in the side. She said it was once for her and once for Tina. We're not through with you yet. You damn fool. You wanted a gangbang. You perverted piece of crap. A gangbang you will have. I said. I called over the toadies and George. Is this piece of trash your friend? George spoke first. No, we hate him. He just used us and made us his servants. We really don't like him. Then you guys take him and put him in his van and gangbang him. You all paid him for a gangbang, didn't you? Here's your chance to get even. I said. George, come here. I took off the cuffs and gave them to one of the toadies to put on Ray. You followed Julie and gave her the creeps, didn't you, George? I'm sorry, Jerry. It will never happen again. I gave George a right to the midsection. He doubled over and fell to the ground. Please no more, please, George gasped. Here's the way it's going to be. If I ever hear or see Ray again, in my lifetime, you three are dead men. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Jerry, sir. We promise you will never hear from Ray again. I suggest the three of you disappear as well, just in case I change my mind. The van took off, and we heard screaming from the inside. I guess they were getting the gangbang they paid for. We never heard from any of them again. We heard sirens, and the police pulled up. They looked at us. Cal and Jim and Bill were drinking a beer, and I had my arm around Julie. What's going on here? We got a call about a domestic disturbance. I'm sorry, officer. It's my fault. I just asked my girlfriend to marry me, and she accepted. I guess my friends and I made a little too much joyful noise. Well, celebrate a little quieter if you can, and congratulations to both of you. Thank you, officers. I'd offer you a beer, but I guess you're still on duty. We all headed back into the house. Julie and Bill, I want to introduce you to two of the best warehouse workers in the business. Meet Cal and Jim. They all said their hellos, and then Cal and Jim said they would be on their way. The three of us came in Jim's car, and I told them I would catch a ride with Julie later. I would see them Monday at the regular time. Cal looked at me and said, "Are Jim and me invited to the wedding, boss?" You sure the hell are with all the beer you two can drink. Thanks, boss, and congratulations to you and Julie. As they left, Julie was smiling at me. What did I do? Tell me, I asked. You told the police, Cal and Jim, that we are getting married. When are you going to ask me? Right then a car pulled up and out jumped Sherry and Tina. What's going on? Bill just called and told me to get here right away. Is everything all right? Where's Bill? Hi, honey. I didn't think you would want to miss this. Jerry is about to propose to Julie. Bill was walking out of the house. Oh, my God. My little brother is going to marry my best friend. As she started crying, all eyes were on me. I reached into my pocket and pulled out a piece of paper. On it was a saying or poem. Julie, I found this poem. I think it explains how I feel much better than I can say it. I don't know who wrote it. It said, Anonymous. A woman, be very careful if you make a woman cry, because God counts her tears. The woman came out of a man's rib, not from his feet to be walked on, not from his head to be superior, but from the side to be equal, under the arm to be protected, and next to the heart to be loved. Julie, I love you with all my heart and soul. I got down on one knee. Julie, will you marry me? Julie and Sherry were both crying. I reached into my pocket and pulled out a ring. Oh God, thank you. Jerry, yes, 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 1,000 times yes, I will marry you, she said as I slipped the ring onto her finger. I looked over at Tina, who was crying because her mother was. Sweetheart, Tina, will you be my little girl, my daughter? Then Mike and Carla will be your brother and sister. Yes, Daddy, I be your daughter, she smiled, as well as the rest of us. We've been married about 6 months now, and it has been wonderful. We had a small wedding, but lots of food and beer for the guests. Even Lisa and Robert showed up. Mike and Carla were happy. They now had a little sister to tease. Cal and Jim went together and bought us a 3-day stay at a luxury hotel for our wedding gift. The card said, "To the best boss ever and his beautiful wife. Thanks again for believing in us and giving us a second chance." We see Sherry and Bill often. They are our best friends. Julie is off the pill now. We don't know if we will have a yours, mine, and ours household or not. Time will tell. We did take the parental agreement to the judge, and I now have a daughter named Tina who carries my last name, just like her mother. We have never heard from Ray, George, or the Toadies. Cal and Jim stopped by Joe's bar one day to ask around. All the bartender knew was they came in with us that one night and never have returned, which is fine with me. Dear listeners, please share your thoughts in the comments section below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.